I'm 15 for a moment, caught in between 10 and 20, and I'm just dreaming, counting the ways to where you are. I'm 22 for a moment, and you feel better than ever, and we're on fire, making our way back from Mars. 15, there's still time for you, time to buy and time to lose. 15, there's never a wish better than this, when you've only got 100 years to live. I'm 33 for a moment, I'm still a man, but you see I'm a they, and we're on our way, babe, a family on our minds. I'm 45 for a moment, the sea is high, and I'm heading into a crisis, chasing the years of my life. 15, there's still time for you, time to buy and time to lose yourself within a morning star. 15, I'm alright with you. 15, there's never a wish better than this, when you've only got 100 years. Half time goes by, suddenly you're wise, a blink of an eye. 57 is gone, the sun is high, and we're moving on. I'm 99 for a moment, and dying for just another moment, and I'm just dreaming, counting the ways to where you are. 15, there's still time for you. 22, I feel you too. 33, you're on your way. Every day is a new day. Oh, 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 oh. 15, there's still time for you, time to buy and time to choose. Hey, 15, there's never a wish better than this, when you've only got 100 years. I'm 65 for a moment.
Thank you. It was lovely. Well, good morning. My name is Dr. Rita Webster, and I am honored to serve on your board of trustees. Welcome to our Sunday morning service. Our services are at 9:30 and 11:30 Central Time. We live stream at 9:30 and welcome our live stream audience today. Watch our services anytime on demand at our website or on YouTube. This afternoon, Kyle Foster of J.P. Morgan leads a workshop on healthy finances. It's part of our Mindful Money Matters series for this summer. Start with the basics or a strong foundation and learn small things to do on a regular basis that can make a big difference in your money life. It's at 1 p.m. in the Fillmore Room today. The next session of our Body, Mind, Spirit series is Tuesday night. Join Pat Samples for Essential Motion, Moving Yourself to Freedom. That sounds like fun to me. Register on our website and then meet at 7 p.m. in the Fillmore Room. Wendy Brown Baez starts a 5-week class on Thursday, May 26, Poetry to Set Your Heart on Fire, which will be followed by a special celebration with guest Michael Kleber Diggs on July 1st. Hospitality is back on Sunday mornings, and we're seeking volunteers to make it possible. We also have opportunities for live stream camera operators, Unity bus drivers, ushers, and in our youth ministry. See John Southam, our volunteer coordinator, to learn more and share your gifts in our community. Are you thinking about dividing or removing non-invasive perennials or small shrubs from your yard? Consider donating them to help revitalize our church grounds. Purchase plants or monetary donations are also welcome. Bring plants that are clearly marked with their name, the bloom color, and the estimated height to the northwest patio on Saturday morning, May 28th. Pots and soil will be available if needed, and our plant share that's done on a love offering basis is Sunday the 29th after each service. Details for our upcoming events and activities are on the church website, Facebook page, or our weekly emails, Happening at Unity and Peek at the Week. You can also email or call the church office. And now, please join Reverend Kevin for our opening prayer.
Please join me. I invite you to just take a deep, deep breath, remembering once again that that is the breath of God. That is the universe breathing us. We begin with a sense of gratitude for the gift of this day, gratitude for this spiritual community, gratitude for the blossoming and greening of spring. We breathe in love and know and affirm that love is the ultimate harmonizer and healer. We bring into this consciousness of love and gratitude those in our community who are experiencing challenge, be it grief, loss, dis-ease. We just hold them in our heart. We see them comforted. And we bring into this circle our country and our world, those that have been experiencing challenges, violence, all of that. We just hold them in a sense of peace and of love. And we affirm peace. We affirm peace within. We see the peace within moving out into our world as waves of peace and compassion. We especially envision the people of Ukraine and Russia surrounded in peace and compassion, protected from the violence of war. We see their hearts and minds comforted in fear, anger, and uncertainty. We hold those in pain, grieving, displaced in comfort and peace. We see them healed and guided as to what is next. And we especially wrap the children, the elders, and those most vulnerable in protective love and light. We now claim that the leaders of Russia, Ukraine, and the entire world remember the truth of our oneness. We see them guided in the ways of peace, with wisdom, with compassion, with empathy. And we allow our Christ nature to extend love and compassion to all beings, including those who seem to have no compassion. We join with all people around the world, lifting our hearts and our consciousness. We remember that even in the darkness, the light and the love of God is ever present, awaiting our recognition. We claim and affirm peace for Ukraine, Russia, and our entire world. And we surrender to divine order, knowing fully that peace and love will ultimately prevail. And so it is. And so we allow it to be. Amen. I think we need to celebrate this beautiful Minnesota day, yes? Stand as you choose for our opening song. I can see clearly now.
I can see clearly now the rain has gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Yes, I can make it now. The pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Here is the rainbow I've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, look all around, bright, sunshiny day. Here we go. Look all around, there's nothing but blue skies. Look straight ahead, nothing but blue skies. See clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. Do it again. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Two more times. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. One more time. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day.
Do you believe it's going to be a bright, sunshiny day? Yeah, look out there. Oh, it's going to be a bright, sunshiny day. Welcome, everyone. It's so good to have you here. Thank you, James. Thank you, crew. What a way to start the morning. What a way to start the morning. You realize this is a full moon Sunday with a lunar eclipse tonight. Did you remember that? Starts at 9:15, full at 10:35. So if you don't have anything else to do tonight, except I think some people might have something else to do tonight, check it out. We want to welcome you again. Welcome you coming in from our live streaming. It's so good to have you guys with us as well. What an amazing community we have. It's always wonderful to see old faces, returning faces. Returning faces, and it's also always good to have new faces amongst us. So if you are here for the first time, or it feels like maybe it's the first time, I ask you to take your hand and raise it for us and let us see where you are and who you are. We got anybody new here today? Whoa. It's just us chickens. It's just us chickens. Well, welcome. And if there are those of you coming in live stream who are for the first time, there is information on the live stream that will allow you to fill out a card, give us information, and send it to us, and then we will look forward to getting back to you on that. Wow, it's just us. It's just us. And so, let's today say together our core values. As we affirm these core values, Let's feel them in our heart, because this is who and what we say we are. Every day, in all ways, as individuals and as a community. And so, together, our core values, we are loving, transforming, welcoming, spirit-filled, prosperous, and joyful. Indeed, we are. And as this month is our month of I Am Healthy, we have our May affirmation, and let us say that together as well. Together, in each moment, miracles are taking place in my mind, my body, and affairs. And so it is, and so we let it be. And always, as Reverend Pat has taught me to say here and has brought us together with, we know that anywhere, everywhere on our spiritual journey, wherever we are welcome here. Know that and say thank you, God, for that beingness. Yes? And I believe, Mary, you are reading our daily word today.
We now move deeper into spirit with the reading of the daily word. As the usher brings down the prayer box, you are invited to mentally add your prayers to the written requests in the box. After the service, the prayer box is located in the garden court, where you may add your written requests. You may also submit an online prayer request via our website. Your prayers are then prayed with by our prayer ministry for 7 days, and then they are forwarded to Silent Unity, where they are prayed with for an additional 30 days. The word for today, Sunday, May 15th, 2022, is freedom. Taking responsibility for my life leads me to freedom. Each life has its share of ups and downs. Like most people, I have felt blessed by my happy experiences and laid low by my more difficult ones. I have used the spiritual tools of forgiveness and gratitude to learn from and move beyond my more painful experiences. This kind of spiritual housekeeping is my key to lasting freedom. By releasing blame and regret over and over again, if necessary, I am ensuring that I will not be bound by the past and limited by an outworn image of myself. Life is dynamic, and so am I. My growth is dependent upon my forward movement, and I commit to embracing the freedom that comes from leaving the past behind. With gratitude, I bless the person I was. With faith, I reach unencumbered for the person I am becoming. And from Scriptures, Galatians chapter 5, verse 13, for you were called to freedom, brothers and sisters. The word for today is freedom.
Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place. The presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. There's a holy hush around us.
Please join me for this time of meditation. Let us begin by settling and preparing our body temples to be vessels of Christ energy and the presence of God. Let us feel gravity gently anchoring us to our seat. Let us feel the clothes on our body, the air on our skin, the air on our face, and allowing a gentle breath to flow. In this space of receptivity, we claim our unity with the indwelling Christ and divine mind. And we open the doors of our hearts to the omnipresent goodness and love of God. We establish the kingdom within. We are safe. We are nurtured. We are loved. From this place of peace and power, we become aware of anything that is keeping us in bondage. We deny its authority to be the author of our life's journey anymore. We affirm a blossoming compassion and love for any part of us that needs to be cared for, that needs attention, that needs that love. We allow our Christ to instruct us in ways that are in alignment with health, with well-being, and we claim this awareness. We claim this wisdom to support ourselves in ways that establish this for our body, our minds, our spirits, our life. These new ways make themselves manifest to our mind and our awareness. It is from this new place of sovereignty and authority that we affirm the strength and the courage for this way of being that is in alignment with the beautiful health, harmony, and prosperity that we deserve. I am healthy, I am renewed, I am revitalized. Let us take a moment now to unfold into our Christ nature and feel that presence of God. Sealed in faith, in truth, in trust. Amen.
I remember sky. It was blue as ink, or at least I think. I remember sky. I remember snow. Soft as feathers, sharp as thumbtacks, coming down like lint. And it made you squint when the wind would blow. And ice like vinyl on the streets, cold as silver, white as sheets, rain like string and changing things like leaves. I remember leaves, green as spearmint, crisp as paper. I remember trees, bare as coat racks, spread like broken umbrellas, and parks and bridges, ponds and zoos, ruddy faces, muddy shoes, light and noise and bees and boys and days. I remember days, or at least I tried. And at times I think I would gladly die for a day of sky.
James Rocco, always good to have you in the house. Adam, beautiful meditation, touched my heart. Good morning. As you probably have heard, if you've been here before, that the year 2022 is all about having the courage to imagine. And that includes imagining what our dream life might be like in terms of us as individuals, as well as a community, and even more broadly as a world when we think about and have the vision of world peace. One important item that links to our community in terms of this courage to imagine is the vision of having a renovated building that is fully accessible to all. Fully accessible to all. And I invite you to re-energize and hold that vision with me as we move forward. As you probably already know as well, each month we have a theme. And last month was all about transformation. And the affirmation for the month is, I am willing to be transformed. This month is all about what? Health. And it's all about this idea of the mind, body, spirit connection. Reverend Pat began the series a couple weeks back and talked about this interconnection between the body, mind, and spirit. But he said that while we are so much more than this physical body temple, so much more than that, this is an important aspect of our life and our beingness. The notion that our body is separate from our body and mind is simply an illusion. I love being part of a spiritual teaching that asks us to focus on that balance between body, mind, and spirit. Growing up in a more traditional tradition, there was almost little to no focus on one's body. The thinking piece was more about impure thoughts, things along those lines. And it was all about this, in some ways, spirituality. And so I really appreciate that we get to bring our whole selves to this consideration in terms of our journey, our human journey. I also love that how Reverend Pat talks about this idea, if I don't take care of my body, where am I going to live? So again, it's about making sure that we're taking care of this vessel. Last week, Reverend Toni for Mother's Day talked about the importance of the health of mothers, all mothers and mother figures, health in body, mind, and spirit. And sometimes when there are emotional or physical challenges, individuals may not be able to love in that ideal mother love way. The reality is that parents can pass psychological injury onto their children, including trauma. They can pass it on to that next generation, many times unknowingly. Reverend Toni also referenced the care and the health of Mother Earth and really called us to action in terms of ensuring that we take care of the planet. And again, if we don't take care of Mother Earth, where will we live? Today's lesson is all about awareness, and the lesson title is Awareness Has Magic. Now, sometimes as a minister, we are handed a lesson title and some resources and asked to go run with it. And I do know that this lesson title came from a book that we are using as part of this series, Reinventing the Body, Resurrecting the Soul by Deepak Chopra. Great book. Hear that loud and clear. And the chapter is number 3, if that makes any difference, but it's all about this idea that awareness has magic. Now, more info than you probably need or want, but I have a bit of a negative reaction to the word magic. When I think about the word magic, what it conjures up for me is this idea of special spells and potions and things like that that are only available to the select few, as opposed to this idea that this is accessible to all of us. I believe that in divine mind, now think about this, in divine mind, there is no such thing as magic or miracles, because all of that is under universal law. And whether you believe that awareness has magic or not, today is all about the critical importance of awareness and that awareness of body, mind, and spirit and the interconnection. It appears like most of us are still in a body form. I'm curious. Do you believe, show of hands, you believe that you are a spiritual being having a human experience? Like I do. Great. Do you believe on some level the purpose of this human experience is to grow and to learn and all of that? Do you believe that? Great. You're in the right spot. All of this is linked to our own level of consciousness and our level of awareness. Scripture tells us that we are made in the image and likeness of God and that we have been created with great care and reverence, and that our body is the temple of the Holy Spirit and that we should honor our God with our body. In unity, we talk about our body as the outer expression of inner consciousness. Outer expression of inner consciousness. Now, it's important to remember that this inner consciousness is impacted by our life experiences, our conscious thought, our unconscious thought, as well as the collective consciousness. And I sometimes think about or talk about this collective consciousness as that murky, deep ocean that we all swim in. Ultimately, all of this has the ability to impact our physical body and reinforces this idea of our body, mind, and spirit being deeply connected and intertwined. Myrtle Fillmore, co-founder of our movement, tells us that divine law governs our physical body. She tells us the body and its needs must have our consideration. We must not drive the body or neglect its normal needs. This body is the result of our use of God-given faculties and power. We have needed such a temple, and the soul has built it. We have needed such a temple, and the soul has built it. Personally, I believe that the mind is the pathway between our physical, temporary body and our ever-ongoing soul. We need to be aware of this and be balanced here as we navigate this human journey. Deepak Chopra, in the book, Reinventing the Body, Resurrecting the Soul, is very clear that our bodies are not separate from our souls and that we could not have a physical body without that soul. He says that this is one of the greatest forgotten miracles, that each of us has a soul. Each of us is a soul made flesh. In our unity language, we know about being that spiritual being, have the human experience. He states that our physical body, for a variety of reasons, sometimes this energy can become blocked and then we suffer. He says that our human body is nothing more than energy, and sometimes that energy gets stuck and then we suffer. His hopeful message is all about the need for and the importance of truly honoring and integrating body, mind, and spirit. Ironically, they were never, ever disconnected. It's only our own illusion, perhaps our own arrogance or ego, that allowed us to get to this place where there is that disconnection. I believe that this integration of body, mind, and spirit is actually our life's work. Our individual healing, our personal growth, and our spiritual evolution. This is what Deepak says about our bodies. Listen to this. Your body is boundless. It is channeling the energy, creativity, and intelligence of the entire universe. At this moment, the universe is listening through your ears, seeing through your eyes, experiencing through your brain. Your purpose for being here is to allow the universe to evolve. None of this is outlandish. The human body is already the universe's most advanced laboratory experiment. You and I are at the center. We are at the cutting edge of life. We are at the cutting edge of life. Funny how sometimes the universe works. As I was preparing for this lesson, a post came past my social media feed, and the quote itself is a bit crude, so I'm going to be upfront about that, but it does have a link to what we're talking about here, and has an abundance of truth and irony with this quote. The message here, though, is that we are indeed unlimited and that we have absolutely nothing to fear as we navigate this life journey. And the quote is, "You're a ghost driving a meat-coated skeleton made from stardust, riding a rock, hurtling through space. Fear nothing." As my friend Reverend Shirley would say, take a breath on it. As we navigate this mysterious and awe-inspiring experience, body, mind, and spirit, I firmly believe that expanding awareness is the holy grail of growth, both personal and spiritual. I also believe that growth, psychological growth, spiritual growth, and all that are interrelated and connected. As I grow and heal emotionally, I am more open and available for spiritual growth. Practicing awareness and becoming more self-aware are ways of accelerating our personal and spiritual growth. This awareness includes and extends to our body, mind, and spirit. Let me suggest that awareness begins with knowing one's self. This notion of self-knowledge is ancient. The phrase which you may have heard before is know thyself. Know thyself. That was used by Plato, Pythagoras, and at least 9 other Greek sages. Know thyself. We could spend hours and hours talking about this idea of self-awareness and self-knowledge, but I'm afraid you would not put up with me for that long. But when I talk about self-awareness and knowing oneself, I talk about the multifaceted aspects of who I am, who we are as individuals. And these include things like personality, history, thoughts, pattern, relationships, motivations, values, emotions, triggers, preferences, style, aptitude, genetics, biases, predispositions. I could keep going, but you get the sense that we are complex beings. That said, the greater my awareness and the better I know myself, the better I can manage all of this complexity in ways that serve my personal and spiritual growth. And much of this growth is activated and energized by our most intimate relationships, as well as by other human beings who we do not know at all. What we want to be doing ideally is becoming more and more mindful of all this rather than reacting from that injured or less mature self. Our body and mind are always providing feedback to us through feelings and through our thoughts. Learning to listen to this is part of that process. And when I talk about this, folks, this is really, really easy to talk about, so much more difficult to actually do, because I believe it requires the ability to step back and to reflect. It requires, in my mind, to do some deeper personal work. It may require counseling or therapy. One may ultimately need to address the likes of trauma, grief, neglect, or abuse to allow for greater healing and awareness. All of this is to help us to be no longer captive to the bondage of our past. Our healing and our expanded awareness allows us greater personal and spiritual growth. According to Chopra, it's all about energy, and that this energy impacts our thoughts. He says that our thoughts ultimately impact our body, mind, and spirit. Sound familiar? Our third unity principle is all about what? Thoughts held in mind create after their kind. We teach that our thoughts are creative and that our thoughts build our reality. What's fascinating now is that science is now fully validating what the spiritual masters and mystics have always known. Our master teacher Jesus taught us that we could be transformed by the renewing of our mind. I don't believe you can really truly be renewed in our mind without knowing ourselves. That goes back to awareness and self-awareness. Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, co-founders of our movement, both experienced physical healing by changing their thoughts and by tapping into their divine nature and birthright. Myrtle's well-known quote is, "I am a child of God, and therefore I do not inherit sickness." This personal realization began her healing journey when she heard those words at first, and it was later then facilitated by prayer, meditation, and by her being vigilant about her thoughts. What is awesome is that we now realize the brain and the human brain is much more plastic and adaptable than once thought. We used to believe that our brain was somewhat fixed right at birth. The fact is that simple daily activity and thinking creates quickly new neural networks. Research tells us that mental activity alone can alter the brain. Mental activity alone can alter the brain. There was some brain research that took place, and it was in partnership with His Holiness the Dalai Lama. where a group of monks were gathered, and these monks had been meditating for 15 to 30 years. So well-practiced, well-experienced monks in this idea of meditation. And they were hooked up to MRI technology in a way that the results of what was going on in their brains was reported out in real time. As they meditated, they began to generate the most intense gamma waves ever seen in a normal brain. And gamma waves are associated with keeping the brain functioning as a whole and also with higher levels of thinking. The most intense area of activity displayed by the monks was in the left prefrontal cortex, just behind the left side of the forehead. This area is associated with happiness and positive thoughts. The researchers were thrilled because this was the very first time that anyone had shown that mental activity alone could alter the brain. Research has already shown that the brain could be trained to help enhance physical performance. Think about many athletes that have been prepare using their minds through the power of imagination, where they're beginning to picture that perfect jump or that extraordinary swing or that perfect putt. Again, we've been doing that and seeing that for a long time. Another piece of research from Harvard demonstrates the immediate effects of thoughts of love and compassion on the physical body. For this study, subjects sat in a room and watched video of Mother Teresa and her work with abandoned children in Calcutta. As these viewers viewed these deeply moving images, their breathing rates slowed and their blood chemistry changed. It revealed greater calm and less stress. These physiological responses are controlled by the brain, and thus demonstrating that even brief experience to higher levels of love have a positive brain response and physical benefits. In Unity, we know and we teach that thoughts are creative and that our thoughts have the power to impact our body and our world. Almost 100 years ago, Myrtle Fillmore encouraged us to be wise and loving towards the body. She tells us that the body responds to thoughts and to changes of mind. And when this is accompanied by the truly wise living habits, the conformity to true ideas of life and power and love and substance and intelligence will renew it and make it every bit whole. We must see the life of God in our flesh. Any form of denial of God, life, and intelligence, or of the physical organism, any thought of the flesh other than that as God's pure substance, is unhealthy to the body. In other words, when we forget that our body is the energy of God, we suffer. And that suffering might be physical, emotional, or spiritual. Myrtle also discusses the idea of a threefold law of health. First is spiritual, and that's all about keeping a person assured of their God-given freedom from all anxiety, worry, fear, and lack. Next is mental, which is the intelligence that enables one to do that which promotes health and success. And the third is physical, and that's forming those habits which keep us making the right use of our faculties and powers and the life energy and substance. In addition, Deepak says to us in order to optimize our quality of life, body, mind, and spirit, we must eliminate negative thinking and conditioning. And we need to alter our fixed behavior and energy patterns. He says the best way to do this is through reflection, contemplation, and meditation. Sound familiar? It seems to me that both Myrtle and Deepak are offering similar guidance for healthy body, mind, and spirit, but a gap of about 100 years between the two. Next week, we continue our focus on health, body, mind, and spirit, and Reverend Pat will be back. His lesson title is, You Can Improve Your Genes. And I want to be absolutely clear, I'm not talking about upgrading your wardrobe, I'm talking about upgrading your physical body. So your assignment this week, if you choose to accept it, I challenge you to focus on being more aware of the interconnection between body, mind, and spirit. And be especially attentive to the thoughts and how they impact your body as well as your mood. Willing to give that a go? All right. Affirming abundant health for us all, body, mind, and spirit. And so it is.
Somebody hold me too close. Somebody hurt me too deep. Somebody sit in my chair, ruin my sleep, make me aware of being alive, being alive. Somebody need me too much. Somebody know me too well. Somebody pull me up short and put me through hell and give me support for being alive, being alive. Make me alive, make me confused, mock me with praise, let me be used. Vary my days, but alone is alone, not alive. Somebody crowd me with love. Somebody force me to care. Somebody let me come through. I'll always be there, as frightened as you, to help us survive. Being alive, being alive, being alive. Somebody force me to care. Somebody make me come through. I'll always be there, as frightened as you, to help us survive. Being alive, being alive, being alive.
I'm feeling pretty alive right now. What an amazing energy flowing through us today. From the meditation, Adam, thank you. And of course, Reverend Kevin, I have several things I have to think about right now. reflecting places in my body that need to be expressed, perhaps. And of course, the music, James, Lori, Peter, and Dave. It's a blessing to come here on Sunday mornings. It truly is a blessing. It's a time for us to share together, to feel connected more consciously than we do other times, maybe. A time for us to appreciate the amazing abundance that surrounds us, and the abundance of love, health, life, and financially. It's also time for us to recognize the cycle that is life, the giving and the receiving. The fact that when we give out, we are blessed back. So I ask you this morning to take that to heart and to allow that giving and receiving to continue here this morning, to give that gift of financial gift to Unity Minneapolis. There are multiple ways to do that. If you are coming in live stream, there are ways that you can click on the donate button on our website. Thank you very much. On our website, if you're here, there's a QR code on your order of service. There's an envelope. There's all manner of ways that we can give into this amazing abundance so that we receive a blessing itself. And so I ask you now to do that in whatever way you do. And for those of you who do give electronically, know that that energy is also present with us. I give electronically, and so I don't always have that thing to put in the plate on Sunday, except the energy that is my love and the blessing. So today, take that gift, whatever it is, in whatever form it is for you, and hold it in your hand. See it, feel it. Feel the energy and the love and the blessing that it is. And when the ushers pass the offering plate, lay your hand there for just a moment, even if it's just representing that digital gift, and bless and give thanks. And so now let us say together our offertory blessing. You guys want to come on down? Yeah. Now let us say together our offertory blessing. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I am. And so it is.
We take a moment and just breathe in that breath of life, that breath of gratitude. And we bless these gifts. We bless all the gifts that have been received here today as well as electronically. We bless these gifts and we send them forth. We send them forth to serve our vision and our mission of a transformed world, transforming the world one person at a time through love, through peace, and through compassion. And so it is. Amen. I'd like to invite our prayer chaplains in the sanctuary to please stand. These individuals arrived early. They are here to hold sacred space with you. If you are interested and wish, you can pray with them one-to-one here. If you are joining us via technology, there are prayer chaplains available for you with information in terms of how to connect with those prayer chaplains on your screen. And so thank you for your service, and you may be seated. I think we might have youth, or is that just a rumor? We have youth.
Is walking in the light, in the light, in the light. She is walking in the light of God.
Oh, thank you, everyone. We do have a kiddo, but she's enjoying her time upstairs with Art and his accordion, so couldn't pull her away from that. We had a great Earth Care cleanup yesterday, so thank you to the 8 folks or so who joined me. We cleaned up all around the Unity grounds and across at Courage Kenny, so that was wonderful. And just would invite you to come and check out our youth program. We've still got our Zoom class going at 9 a.m., and we had 3 kiddos on there today, and we'll have our 11:30 classes as well. So let me know if you've got any questions about the youth and family ministry.
Like I said, we do have youth. I'm going to invite Reverend Toni, Adam, Rita, if you want, come on up on the platform. One reminder, we do have our Money Matters workshop today at 1 o'clock in the Fillmore room. So if you're so inclined, if that's calling you, please join us there. And if you would, join us for our prayer for protection and our peace song. And stand as you choose. The light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever we are, God is. I am divine, and all is well.
A flop at a top-notch affair, but I've still got my health, so what do I care? My best ring, alas, is a glass solitaire, but I've got my health, so what do I care? By fashion and foppery, I'm never discussed. Attending the Opry, my box would be a bust. I never shall have that Park Avenue flair. I'm in such health, so what do I care? Hey, very nice. Feet. Glory. The hip that I shake doesn't make people stare, but I have got some help. What do I care? The sight of my props never stop a thoroughfare, but I have got my health. What do I care? Your face is your fortune, so some wise men spoke. My face is my fortune, that's why I'm totally broke. My ship ain't come in, but I grin while I bear, 'cause I've got my mind